I'm an ex-visa officer and I want to talk to you about multiple prior refusals. If you've applied for your US visa in the past and you've been refused multiple times, you're going to have a harder time getting your visa issued in the future. It's not impossible though. You can still do it, but you need to know going in that your strategy, the way you approach the visa interview, needs to be different because you have those prior refusals and more than one prior refusal at that. Okay, so here's how you have to think about it. The 214B refusal is just one refusal. It's that refusal, that day, that application. It doesn't mean that you can't get your visa issued in the future. There's nothing that means that the next visa officer has to refuse your visa again. They can look at your case, look at your application, ask you questions, and they can come to a different decision. Legally, they can. However, it will influence their thinking. When they see that you've been refused before, it's like, picture this, you're looking at Google reviews or you're looking at reviews on Yelp and you see that there's a place you're looking at, a restaurant perhaps, that has one bad review, okay? It's going to affect your thinking. You know, okay, well that's just one person's opinion. Maybe it's not that important, maybe they're very picky, maybe they don't have the same taste as me, and you might decide to go there anyway. You might decide to go there and it's good and you're gonna give it a 5-star review. But what if you look at it and there's 2 bad reviews? What if there's 3 bad reviews? What if there's 4? What if there's 5? The more bad reviews, the more you're going to start to question whether or not you want to go to that restaurant, okay? Now, it's obviously different, but I need you to think about the visa interview in the same way. If a visa officer opens up your case, they're going to see 5 red blinking lights saying this person's been refused 5 times before, okay? Now, despite the fact that they are legally enabled to review your case and make a new judgment on the new facts that are put before them during that visa interview, they cannot help but be influenced by the fact that they see that there's 5 prior refusals. And it's not just seeing that there were 5 prior refusals. They're going to go into the notes and they're going to look and they're going to see what happened. You don't get a fresh start every single time you go in. Your visa record is for life. Everything that you've presented in DS-160s, everything you've said in your previous interviews, that has been recorded, that has been put down into the notes. This is going to affect what's going to happen in your next visa interviews, okay? So if this is your case, you cannot go in passively. If you go in passively, and by passively, I mean not proactively trying to argue your case in front of the visa officer. If you go in passively and just wait to be asked a question, the most likely question you're going to be asked is, well, what's changed? Right? You've been refused this many times before, what's different? And if you're not ready to answer that question, you're going to get refused. It's going to be the easiest thing in the world for that visa officer to refuse you again because they have all the justification that they need. All they have to say to their manager, to their colleagues is, yes, they were already refused 5 times by my competent colleagues here at the consulate. Why would I make a different decision? You have to make their job easy for them, right? So those 5 refusals are already giving them one easy decision to make, which is another refusal. The way to make it easy for them in the other direction is to go in there prepared. When they ask that first question of you, you're prepared to lay out in a very succinct, concise way what your case is for getting your visa issued. Is it your finances? Is it your academic excellence? Is it your prior travel? Is it something else that might be unique to your personal situation? Whatever that is, you need to be ready to present that, regardless of what question you're asked at the visa interview. That's the information that you've got to get out in front of those prior refusals, because that's a heavy weight that's weighing on the refuse side of the scales in your visa decision. You've got to get out in front of that and stack the weights on the other side with the information that you know supports your case. Maybe you don't know exactly what supports your case. As ex-visa officers, Mandy and I and our colleagues, we can help you figure out what those things are that you need to focus on. Maybe you know what they are already. That is what you need to focus on if you've got multiple prior refusals on your record and you're going in for a new visa interview.